ERi-TV English news broadcast today, viewers. I'm your reporter Bersaba Taghla, and these are the major headlines for today. Sports and Cultural Week in Maidema concluded. Beehives distributed to disabled veterans in Serengeti subzone. Saudi Arabia to reduce oil output by 1 million barrels per day in July. And Chinese Foreign Ministry says warship crossing in front of U.S. destroyer was safe. On your local reports, Sports and Cultural Week in Maidema, Areza subzone that was conducted for 12 days under the theme Conscious Use, Strong Organization for Bright Future concluded. The Sports and Cultural Week included sports, general knowledge, poems, songs and dancing competitions, as well as fashion shows. At the conclusion event organized on 3 June, Mr. Girmay Gebru, head of the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students in the Southern Region, said that the Sports and Cultural Week was part of the effort to nurture competent youth as well as to enable the youth to identify their talents and develop them. Commending for the effort the union branch is exerting to develop the overall capacity of the youth, Mr. Rusom Kifla Mariam, administrator of Areza subzone, called on the public to strengthen contribution in the effort. Indicating that the Sports and Cultural Week shoulders more responsibility, for it has been organized during the 32nd Independence Day anniversary celebrations, Mr. Saleh Ahmeddin, chairman of the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students, called on the youth to strengthen participation in the national affairs. At the occasion, awards have been handed over to winners of the various competitions. The National Association of Eritrean War Disabled Veterans distributed modern beehives to 20 of its members in Serengeti subzone. The war disabled veterans were provided 5 modern beehives, each with fair price, and 10,000 nafa each for beginning their activities. Indicating that the National Association has been exerting effort to improve the livelihoods of the war-disabled veterans through initiating various projects, Mr. Weldesgi Tedros, head of the association branch in the Southern Region, called on the beneficiaries to take advantage of the resources in their area and develop their activities. On your last local report, the Teachers Association branch in the Northern Red Sea region, in cooperation with the Education Office in the region, organized skill upgrading training to 65 elementary school teachers. Indicating that the training program was in continuation of the effort to develop the capacity of teachers, Mr. Rashid Usman, head of the Education Office in the region, said that the training will have significant input in the development of the teaching learning process. Mr. Ismail Saleh, head of the Education Office in Massawa subzone, on his part expressed expectation that the trainings will contribute in the development of the teaching learning process with the knowledge they gain from the training. Mr. Haile Asfaha, administrator of the Massawa subzone, expressing readiness of the subzonal administration to play due part in the development of the teaching learning process, called for the sustainability of the training program. Dear viewers, still to come here on ERi-TV, your international reports after the short break. Welcome back. Saudi Arabia has said it will reduce how much oil it sends to the global economy by 1 million barrels per day. As the OPEC alliance of major oil-producing countries faces flagging oil prices and a looming supply glut. The kingdom said on Sunday that it would make these production cuts in July to support the sagging cost of crude after 2 earlier production cuts by OPEC members failed to push prices higher. OPEC, which groups the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and Allies led by Russia, reached a deal on output policy after 7 hours of talks at its headquarters in Vienna, and agreed to extend earlier cuts in supply through the end of 2024 by a further total of 1.4 million barrels per day. However, many of these reductions will not be real, as the group lowered the targets for Russia, Nigeria and Angola to bring them into line with their actual current production levels. In contrast, the United Arab Emirates was allowed to raise output. OPEC pumps around 40% of the world's crude, meaning its policy decision can have a major impact on oil prices. The maneuver of a Chinese warship in the Taiwan Strait during an encounter with a U.S. destroyer was completely reasonable, legal, professional and safe, a spokesperson at the China's Foreign Ministry said today at a press conference. The U.S. Navy on Sunday released a video of what it called an unsafe interaction in the Taiwan Strait, in which a Chinese warship crossed in front of a U.S. destroyer in the Taiwan Strait on Saturday. The encounter comes as both countries have traded blame for not holding military talks, with disagreements between the two over everything from trade and Taiwan to the Russia-Ukraine war, and raises the specter of future face-offs that could spiral out of control. On your final report, Russia's defense ministry says it has thwarted a major Ukrainian attack in Donetsk, and the latest sign that a wider counteroffensive may have begun. Video of what Russia says is the battle shows military vehicles under heavy fire in fields. Russia claims it killed 300 troops and destroyed 16 tanks. Today, Ukraine's military said it had no information about a major attack in the region. The Russian Defense Ministry said Ukraine had launched the large-scale offensive in Donetsk region on Sunday using 6 mechanized and 2 tank battalions. It claimed the Ukrainians tried to break through Russian defense in what Kiev saw as the most vulnerable part of the front line, but it had no success. Ukraine has been planning such a move for months, but it has wanted as much time as possible to train troops and to receive military equipment from Western allies. You're still watching ERi-TV, dear viewers, and now a recap of the major headlines. The Sports and Cultural Week in Maidima concluded. Beehives distributed towards disabled veterans in Saganeti subzone. Saudi Arabia to reduce oil output by 1 million barrels per day in July. And Chinese Foreign Ministry says warship crossing in front of U.S. destroyer was safe. Dear viewers, that was it for today. Thanks for watching.